everyone. As you can see, this is the map of North America.
Have you ever heard of North America? No? It's okay. Let me introduce to you about North America. North America is comprised of 23 countries and 18 dependencies. The total population of North America is roughly 594 million. The most widely spoken languages in North America are English, Spanish, and French. Depends on the countries. Among all the 23 countries, the largest country in North America is Canada, while the smallest country in North America is the Caribbean country of Saint Kitts and Nevis. And the most populous country is the United States, while the least populous country in North America are Saint Kitts and Nevis. In the next part, I will introduce to you the two largest countries in North America, which are Canada and US. Check it out. As you can see, above me is the flag of Canada. The Independence Day of Canada was on 1st July 1867. The current population of Canada as in November 2021 is 38,204,084. Wow, that's a lot, right? Meanwhile, the capital city of Canada is located in Ottawa. Justin Trudeau is the 23rd and current Prime Minister of Canada since November 2015. And lastly, the currency of Canada is the Canadian dollar. Alright, let's figure out about US. This is the flag of United States. Well, it's quite similar to Malaysian flag, right? US gained independence on 4th July 1776. The current population in US is 333,664,823. Wow, the population way more bigger than in Canada. The capital city in US is in Washington, D.C. And Joe Biden is a politician who is the 46th and current President of the United States. Furthermore, the currency used in US is US dollar. North America has a continental climate. What is continental climate? Continental climate is a climate characterized by hot summers, cold winters, and little rainfall, typical of the interior of a continent. Besides, a variety of climate from the dry bitter cold of the Arctic to the steamy heat of the tropics. This variation is only partly due to the range of latitude the continent spans. Some areas in North America have mild winters and long, hot summers, and others have harsh winters and short summers.
Environmental problem, natural hazard. For the first pictures is about tornadoes. Tornadoes are most common in the plain state such as the Mississippi Valley and Florida, where necessary climate ingredients are met to support their formation. Tornadoes as a rotating funnel-shaped cloud that extend from the thunderstorm to the ground with whirling wind that can reach 300 miles per hour. Next is winter storm. Winter storm derive their energy from the clash of two air masses of different temperature. Severe winter storm affect the upper Great Plains, the Western Mountains, and the northeast coast of the United States. Third is river flood. River flood is most occurs in the Mississippi River Valley, the spring melting of snow on the surrounding hill, or heavy summer rain. Environmental problem, natural hazard. For the fourth pictures is about volcanoes and earthquake. Volcanic activity is nearly continuous in Hawaii. It occurred in Cascade, where the Juan de Fuca minor plate plunged beneath part of the North America plate. For the fifth pictures is about lightning. Lightning is a year-round event across the southern United States and in Florida. Florida has a tropical climate, and due to moisture and heat, it made the atmosphere less stable. For the sixth pictures is about hurricane. Hurricane is called as a tropical cyclone with maximum sustain of wine with 74 miles per hour or even higher. It can happen within 48 hours or indicate at least 74 miles per hour within 36 hours.
Environment issue. Smog is the chemical reaction of sunlight, nitrogen oxide, and volatile organic compound in the atmosphere which leave airborne particle and ground level ozone. Next is wildfire is a settlement in arid area where natural burning cycle frequently occur in the vegetation present a growing hazard. Wildfire affect populous areas such as Los Angeles in Southern California. Next is mining on a large scale produce huge field for extracting copper and other metal ores in the West. Environmental problem, regional environmental issue. First, acid rain basically from power plant emission along Ohio River Valley affected trees and causes river and lake downwind. Next is sandstorm. Sandstorm is a severe period of drought throughout the 1930s, damaged the ecology and agriculture of the American and Canadian prairies. Last but not least, water shortage is when water from aquifer and the Colorado River facilitates the expansion of warming into arid area of the southwestern of the United States. History and culture, the emergence of a region. First, United States. North America and its indigenous population were unknown to the rest of the world before Columbus expedition beginning in 1492. The indigenous society lived in societies based on agriculture, hunting, and local communal sharing of resources. Therefore, they were overwhelmed by the cultural hegemony or forced conversion of their social custom to the vastly different technologies and the social tenets of the European. History and culture, the emergence of regions. Next is Canada. Archaeologists believe Viking explorers Leif Erikson reached the eastern shores of present-day Canada around 1000 AD. Canada arose mostly out of the colonial territories first established along the St. Lawrence and the Great Lakes and remained a British colony far longer than the United States. It achieved independence through the British North America Act in 1982. History and culture, European settler. First, the French. Since the early 1500, people have lived at the mouth of the St. Lawrence River in Canada. Farm village has been established along the St. Lawrence Valley's bank. Next is the Spanish. Since the 1500, people have lived in the areas of Colorado, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, and the Carolinas. When places do not produce the gold expected, the Spanish will leave property to be cared for by Roman Catholic mission and utilized for cattle ranches. Next is religious freedom speaking. In 1620, they migrate from England to Virginia, where they introduced the second wave of British immigrants. Others follow suit, establishing a township settlement pattern centered on self-governing communities and a subsistence economy. History and culture, European settler. First, the British. Initially, the British intended to colonize the tidewater region surrounding the Chesapeake Bay. For food, the settlers used Native American crops. Plantation and colonies spread southward along the Atlantic coastal plain as a result of an early success. The first Africans were brought in to conduct the labor-intensive fieldwork in 1619. By the 1700, the slavery had established itself as a substantial institution. Next is in 1630. In 1630, the Dutch were the first to settle in the Middle Atlantic region between the New England and Virginia, centered on the New Amsterdam, their port city. From New Amsterdam to New York, the British Duke of York was in command of the Dutch holding and gave his name to the major metropolis. By selling his remaining properties to William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, he was able to pay off his war and land acquisition debts. The Middle Atlantic region drew settlers looking for a place to call home. In the early 1700, a large number of Scots, Irish, and Germans arrived in the area and established an agriculture system focused on maize cultivation.
Next is organization in North America. There are three main organizations, which is G8, NAFTA, and United Nations. So, let's start with first point. What is Group of 8? Group of 8 actually refer to an economic discussion forum with 8 countries that have materially wealthy. The countries that are part of the G8 is the United States, Canada, Japan, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, Italy, and Russia. Meanwhile, United States has a huge influence on the United Nations, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the Organization of American States, and the World Trade Organization. Furthermore, the headquarters in the United States is UN, World Bank, IMF, and OAS. Second point is NAFTA. NAFTA is actually stand for North American Free Trade Agreement. NAFTA refers to the formal implementation that was in 1994, which is the world's trading bloc. There are 3 members of NAFTA, which is US, Canada, and Mexico. Next, we proceed to the function of NAFTA. All NAFTA countries must respect patent, trademarks, and copyright. They also need to eliminate tariff on it and export between the 3 countries. It also established procedure to resolve trade disputes. Next, let's proceed to the last point, which is the United Nations. The United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945. The United Nations headquarters is New York City, New York, and United States. The United Nations purpose and principle is to maintaining international peace and security, promoting human rights, fostering social and economic development. The main organizations of the United Nations are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the United Nations Secretariat. Next, current issue in North America. First issue is violence against indigenous women and girls. This happened in Canada. In June, the federal government promised to release a national action plan to mark the 1-year anniversary of the national inquiry into missing and murdered indigenous women and girls. At that time, the national inquiry made 231 recommendations to the government to address Canada's chronic violence against indigenous women and girls. So, the Prime Minister promised to do justice, but no action was taken. Then, in May, more than 1,500 academics and activists sent a letter to Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Caroline Bennett to act on the call of the National Inquiry for Justice. Lastly, in June, the Native Women's Association of Canada issued a report that handed the federal government a filing grade for its response to the National Inquiry recommendation. Second issue is right to education. This happened in US. Schools were closed at some point in all 50 states in response to the pandemic. So, many schools switched to online learning. But 1 in 5 US children do not have access to a computer or high-speed internet at home. Because of that, various studies warn school closure would widen racial and economic inequalities in education, with a particularly significant impact on children with disabilities.
Hi, my name is Iffah. So, as we know, the continent of North America contains 23 countries and 18 dependencies. Thus, it distributes in the 3 sub-regions of the continent known as North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Firstly, Northern America consists of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Therefore, the dependencies of Saint Pierre and Miquelon, Greenland, and Bermuda. Secondly, Central America has 7 countries, which is Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, and Belize. The population of the region is approximately 47 million. Guatemala is the most populous country in Central America with a population of about 17 million. Nicaragua is the largest inland area. Belize is the least populous country in Central America. It has a population of less than 400,000. El Salvador is the smallest country in Central America by land area. Lastly, the Caribbean consists of 13 countries, which are Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, Dominica, Jamaica, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Saint Kitts and Nevis, Saint Lucia, Saint Vincent, and the Grenadines. They all are part of 3 main islands group. The first group is the Greater Antilles, which consists of the largest Caribbean islands. This is where you will find the countries of Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, and the US territory of Puerto Rico. The Lesser Antilles are the small island in the south of the Caribbean Sea, where you will find countries like Antigua and Barbuda, Saint Vincent, and the Grenadines. And Dominica, as well as dependency like the Virgin Islands, Aruba, Martinique, and Curacao. The third island group is the Lucayan Archipelago, where the Bahamas and the 2 of Caicos Island are located. Okay, what is the economic activity in each sub-regions? Okay, in North America, both Canada and the US have vast amount of natural resources. Some US state and Canadian province are well known for the presence of specific industry, oil and gas. For example, exceptionally important industry in the US state of Texas and the Canadian province of Alberta. Fishing is an important industry in the maritime provinces of Canada, and the US state of California is well known for being the home of Silicon Valley, one of the most important center of the technology innovation. Mexico economy is the smallest of the regions and is highly dependent on import. Mexico main export including automobiles, electrical, machinery, and equipment, and mineral fuel including oil. As you might imagine, Mexico's biggest trading partner is the US, which was the destination of 80% of the country export in 2018. Okay, in Central America, the economy of Central America are all developing economies. Historically, Central America's smaller countries have relied on the export of banana and coffee. In fact, the term of Banana Republic was originally ascribed of the Central America's smaller states. Lastly, the Caribbean. Mining, drilling, tourism, and agriculture are the key economic activity in the Caribbean. This activity fuels business and investment in the developing region, while agriculture remains a traditional way of earning income and is a vital part of the sustainable economy. It has given way to tourism, mining, and drilling as a mainstay of the Caribbean economy.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching.